Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Ronnie Explains. And just as promised, this video is meant to take us through the whole process of writing a do-while loop. And I'm going to explain the difference between a do-while loop and the other loops that we've already looked at. A do-while loop will execute a program at least once. What is found is inside the body of a do while loop will be executed at least once, uh, if even if the condition is not met. But for the other loops that we looked at, you realize that if the condition is not met, then the program is not going to be executed. So very first, I'm going to write the syntax of a do while loop. So in writing a syntax of a do while loop, you normally begin by the starting condition. Uh, then after the starting condition, what follows is the word do, and the word do is normally followed by braces. It is under the braces where we write the body of the loop. Then after writing the body of the loop, then we write the increment or the decrement. Sorry about that. We write the increment or the decrement. Then after writing the increment or the decrement, then we go outside the braces and we followed by the word while, and after while we open brackets, and inside the brackets is where we write our terminating condition. Then after we've written our terminating condition, then we can say that now we've finished writing the whole syntax of a do while loop. If you look at it, there is no much difference from the syntax of a while loop, except that here we are introducing the word do, and inside the braces that follow the word do, we have the body and the increment or the decrement. And now we will go directly to writing a code that can help us to display the statement hello world a number of times using this same syntax. So this is what I'm going to do. I will come here and now let me begin by at least putting this one, cutting this syntax, and maybe putting it down here, so that good. Now, so I'll start by including the C library as usual, and it is #include. Then we write stdio.h and we end that the way we've done. Then we declare our main library, sorry, our main function. We say int main. Then we put our brackets and we open our brace for writing our program. So inside the body, we are going to go straight to our syntax and start executing what is in the syntax. We begin by putting the starting condition. In this case, our starting condition, let me say it's int I being initialized to 0. By saying int I being initialized to 0, it means that I've already declared a variable I where I have stored a value of 0. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is to write the word do and then open braces. Inside the braces, I am going to write the body of my loop, and the body is that we want to print the statement hello world a number of times. So I am going to say use printf tool as usual. Then inside the brackets I put double quotation marks, and then I write hello world. Then I finish that line of code with a semicolon. Then the next thing that I do is I put my increment. This one will be incrementing from 0 to the terminating condition. So my increment in this case will be I++. Then I also end it with a semicolon. Then after that, I will write the word while. Then I open brackets, and inside these brackets, I will put my terminating condition. My terminating condition in this case, I want the word hello world to be printed 5 times. So I will put I is less than 5. Remember, we said that the reason why this one will be printed 5 times, if you can recall from our last video, we said that it is because I begins from 0. So if you count from 0 to 4, you shall have counted 5 times. So that is why we don't say I is less than or equals to 5. We just say it's I is less than 5. Then we also end this using a semicolon. Now, if you look at my program, this is a complete program that is able to be executed, is able to run. So what I'm going to do, let me just get rid of the syntax that I wrote earlier so that I run it and we see the outcome. So if I run it, uh, just let's be patient a bit. Then you notice that it is printing hello world consecutively. Now I want it to be printed in a nicer way that can be seen. So what I'm going to do is that I will come here after hello world. I'll be printing a line so that we see it clearly. So if you look at it, then you notice that now hello world has been printed 5 times. So the reason why it has been printed 5 times is because the condition has been met. Let us look at a situation where this condition is not going to be met. For example, here we are having a starting value of I is equal to 0. Then we also have an increment of I++. It means I will be increasing progressively from 0 towards the terminating condition, which is I is less than 5. So what do you think will happen if I put here, I minus minus? What do you think will happen? If I run this program here, then you realize that we are having what we call an infinite loop. An infinite loop normally occurs when our condition gets to run completely. When our condition gets to run forever, it means this loop will always run and it will never stop running. So how about if we have a value here of 0, then we have I as let us say I is less than 0. What do you think will happen? If you run this, if you run that, then you realize that hello world has been printed once. And the reason why hello world is being printed once, if you look at the semantics of our program, whatever we've written here, you realize that we placed an initial value or a starting value of I is equal to 0. But in the body, we placed printing hello world, then with the line, then it is incrementing at I++. Then our terminating condition is that the value of I should be less than 0. Now, if this is going to be increasing, it will be increasing from 0 progressively. It means it's supposed to move from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. There is no point that it will ever reach any value that is less than 0. So because of that, it means that this condition here is not going to be satisfied. The condition that we placed for this program is not going to be satisfied. And it is because of that reason that hello world will simply be printed only once. And that is what brings a difference between the do while loop and the other two loops, which were the for loop and the while loop. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I advise you to do so, so that next time when I post more educative content, you'll be able to get them, and we'll be able to be sailing together and learning from one another. So thank you very much. I wish you all the best.